Yo, what up? This is Joey Werra, aka The Reaper, aka Lil 40, representing Sleepless. Mike Landry and Defect can't be here right now. They're attending to some other musical business, but I'm representing. So let's start with these questions. Let's kick.
When you're laying in your crib going to sleep, I'm awake. I'm up spraying when I spit over the beats that I make. Steadily waiting for.
How did I break into the industry? Well, I've always been, listening to music, hip hop, every day, all types of music, rock, soul, everything. So I've just always loved listening to music, and then I just started creating music. Me and Defect had a group called OLT, Operation Latte Thunder, and it was more of a joke type of thing. And I just had so much aggression built up that I took it and used it to my advantage. So I got some of that out, and at the same time helped a lot of people.
The reason we sleepless is cause we need you to peep this. Receive this through your speakers. Receive us to be the leaders of insomniacs who on the track.
Real.
The reason we sleepless is cause we need you to peep this. Receive this through your speakers.
Yep, I write all my own songs. So does Defect. He writes all of his own lyrics too. And when we come together, it's just, his mind and our mind. They're just like a combustion of illness. And what was that? What are the songs about? Our songs are just about real life experiences, things like that. Or sometimes are about things that we'd like to do, but we can't. We could do it, but we'll probably get arrested. So we just, like I said, put that all on the pen and paper and vent it through the mic. So instead of going out and really doing that, you know what I mean, you can just listen to it and hopefully it gets people through their day as it does with me.
My life is like the type you might keep secret. Do I give a fuck or regret? Maybe that's why I'm sleepless.
Real life, just real life situations, just being surrounded by everything from happy times to sad times, angry times, just things like that. Drugs, alcohol, women, enemies, friends that turn into enemies, just everything, real life things.
When you have insomnia, you're never really.
I'm currently promoting From Hip Hop, Joey Werra, From Hip Hop, and it's definitely available. You can hit me up at joeywerra@hotmail.com. That's my email address. And also Sleepless, which is me and Defect, and it's Unorthodox Cypher. That's the name of the album, and that's out as well. And you can hit us up. Defect has his own email address, so we got it at the end of this, so be sure to check it out. Hit us up for one of those, because they're off the hook.
So I support you if you come with the rail. I come with a pail to some of my skills. Some rappers done with their deals. You wanna run with the stale, looking for.
At this point, a major label deal would be great if the benefits are good, because it's not all, just because you have a major label deal doesn't mean all the time, you know what I mean, that it's gonna go good for you, because you could sell 1 million records and not make $1 million. So if you're an independent artist, you know what I mean, you can sell 1 million records and make as much as you want, so it all depends on the benefits and things like that. So as far as right now, we're just basically getting our foot in the door, learning things about the industry and everything like that. So it all depends.
Check the beats I drop and the mics I rock. You would have to be deaf to say my music stop. Still it makes me laugh.
The word success, I always say success is happiness, because if you consider yourself successful, when I think of success, I think of you know, being happy with what I do, and that doesn't necessarily mean, you know, having a bunch of, you know, bitches around and spraying champagne and all that bullshit, and like, you know, fancy cars and flashy jewelry and, you know, all that bullshit that you could get caught up in. I define success as happiness, and, you know, I'm happy with what I do, is making other people happy, and through my songs and music like that. So that's how I would. But as far as all the other members in Sleepless, you'd have to ask them themselves.
Except when you're left with your own regret when you stepped in. The cipher's infected, neglected, kept in protection. Elected to rep it, I get more threats than a death.
I'd have to say my biggest career embarrassment is definitely, which has happened a couple times, just showing up to shows that we've been invited to perform, and unfortunately the people that invited us didn't tell us that, you know, there was a certain age limit. So we had, our fans are just all different types of ages, and so we'd tell a bunch of people that were underage that they could come, because of stupid people that didn't make it clear or didn't talk to, you know, the club owners and things like that. So our fans that were really down and really loyal would come all the way out to, you know, different parts of the state or different states to come see us, and, you know, they wouldn't get that opportunity because I wouldn't perform. Because I'm loyal to my fans, you know what I mean? So that's why every time that we do a show now, I make sure everything, all the information and everything like that, you know, is down to a T. We know what we're doing, so that way things don't happen like that, because that's embarrassing, because all those people are relying on you and coming to see you. So it's just, you know, it's a disappointment to them, and also a disappointment to me that, you know, we can't be rocking the shit, you know, rocking the stage together, and, you know, all that. So I would definitely say that's a big career embarrassment. Memorable moments, most memorable, I would definitely have to say every time that, you know, me and Defect get in the studio, it's definitely filled with memorable moments, because like I said, when we come together, it's just like, I don't know, an explosion of you know, creativity and everything like that. But my most memorable moments would definitely have to be when we were like 13, 15 years old, recording in Defect's room in the summertime. So it would be like 95 degrees in his room. We were just sweating our balls off, and, you know, he had no AC in there, but that's how much we loved the music. We were just trying to get it done, you know what I mean, and just make something that people could, you know, vibe to. So those were like some of the best times, just, you know, sweating, fucking putting hard work, blood, sweat, and tears into it, but also having a good time at the same exact time. So definitely definitely haters, I would say, because the haters fuel me to do better. And, you know, every time someone hates, I take that shit. I try not to take it so literal, but it ends up coming out like that, and it just like inspires me, you know, to do better and critique my music more, and also ask the fans like what they want to hear from me, you know what I mean? And just the haters, I just want to, you know, basically shut them the fuck up. So definitely them. Thank you, haters. Keep doing it, because you're giving me something to talk about, and everybody else something to talk about.
I don't know what it is, this ain't hip hop. I don't know what it is, this ain't hip hop. I don't know what it is, this ain't hip hop.
I mean, to each his own, you know. I like Eminem, definitely. I think he's an ill lyricist, but paving the way, it really is, you know, to each his own. But obviously Eminem has had a big impact on hip hop, like, you know, with the way he delivers, like his flow, everything. If you're taking hip hop serious, you have to step up your game when, you know, when you're dealing with that. But there's a lot of other white rappers, you know what I mean, which I wish somebody, you know, put on that, you know. There was House of Pain, you know what I mean, ICP, Twisted, you know, just all those white rappers that were actually, you know, around at the same time or before Eminem, and you know, so Beastie Boys, you can't even forget about them. I'd say that they paved the way a lot more than, you know, Vanilla Ice. No disrespect to him, but you know, like I said, to each his own. No, dry cleaners. I worked at a dry cleaners, and it was ill because people would leave their clothes there, and I'd have a bunch of fresh new clothes because I was poor, and I didn't have no fucking money for clothes and shit like that. And people would also come in from partying the night before and leave their money in their pockets and shit like that. So, and my boss was a fucking idiot, and me and my boy would rob the cash register all the time, and we broke into the candy. I'm telling the truth.
How many years ago was this?
And we broke into the candy thing too, so we'd have infinite hot tamales. So that was, you know, one of my first jobs, and it was fucking ill too. So. I hate spiders. I fucking hate them so much. I don't know why. They've never really done anything to me. I just can't stand them. They creep me out. So that's my worst fear. And another fear of mine is just like, you know, people letting hip hop, you know, just fucking wither away into this, you know, bullshit. Fucking hip hop used to be something, you know, that meant something. It was from the soul, and now it just seems like, to me, there's a, you know, a big line right there where it's, you know, underground and then mainstream, and the mainstream is leaning more towards, like, if you're shaking your ass in the club and shit like that, and you're making all these hits for the chicks, you know what I mean, and that's how you get the money and shit like that. But I don't know, I feel like people get tired of that shit. I get tired of that shit, you know what I mean. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to go to the club with my girl and fucking, you know what I mean, listen to fucking I don't know, like some crazy ass hyped up hip hop shit, because sometimes you need that shit. But I think it's more of the DJs. It's kind of straying away from the question, but I think it's more of the DJ's responsibility to play, you know, a variety. And that's one of my biggest fears, is that, like, the variety of hip hop, because there is so many, won't get shared equally.
Drunk off the liquor and mad rude, you know. Tattoos and cash rules my whole life. Smash dudes and rap tunes, I'm so nice and it's so right.
Guilty pleasure. I don't know, like I said, I love watching Ancient Aliens. That's the best. A lot of people might think that's like nerdy and shit like that, but I don't care. And I love watching shit about like Sasquatch and shit, because someday they're gonna fucking find him, and I'm gonna laugh in everyone's face that said he didn't exist, because he has to exist, because there's so much evidence that he exists. And everyone talks shit and says he doesn't exist, and I'm crazy, and I watch the show for no reason, but I like watching it. And I like sitting in on a Thursday night or whatever, or a Friday night, I don't give a fuck, and I'll just drink, you know, mixed drinks and shit, and chill with my boys and watch that shit. A select few. The rest are out just hating, because they know he's real. Just be yourself. Definitely just be yourself, because if you're not, people are definitely gonna, you know, see that. Real people are gonna see right through you, and they're gonna pull your card, and you're gonna feel real embarrassed, you know what I mean, when all this fake shit that you're talking about is, you know, finally coming out. Everything comes out in the wash. So, you know, just be you, and that way you won't have anything to worry about. Even if you're saying something stupid, you know what I mean? At least it came from your heart. And, you know, go with your heart. Sometimes your mind plays tricks on you, but your heart is like a feeling that you feel, and feelings are real. So just be real. Just, you know, satisfaction, happiness, you know, just releasing that energy, like either that negative energy or, you know, whatever. I just want people to, you know, feel good after they listen to it, and to know that there is somebody else out there, you know what I mean, that feels like that at some point or another, you know what I mean, and you're not alone, because, you know, there's a lot of people that are walking around that feel like that. I know I felt like that, you know what I mean, and if it wasn't for music, I definitely wouldn't be here right now. I'm constantly saying that, but that's the truth. So, I mean, definitely, I definitely want people to, you know, feel like there is somebody else that they can relate to.
We stay rocking the room with the tunes. Give it up, we beat them kids who don't give a fuck. We ain't got shit to lose or to prove.
Alright, for all you guys that tuned into this interview, thank you, I appreciate it. I'm Joey Werra, you know, representing Sleepless. Like I said, Defect couldn't be here. Landry's out, I don't know, God knows what, doing, I don't even know. But, you know, we're always grinding on this music tip, you know, so to get in touch with us, you have to check out all this information right here.
Hey yo, your first name ain't hip and your last name ain't hop. Think your first name is shit, think your last name is talk. I don't care about your bitch, I don't care about your watch. I don't care about your crib, I don't care about your Glock. Or your semi-auto, some machines, Henny bottles, puffin' green, Chevy towels, tough and mean, Ferrazanos, Benson beams, semi-finals, fuck your team. Tell me Sano suck on these, plenty vinyl cuts indeed. Can't hear rhyme, knows what I mean. No, I don't think so, thinking people think so, thinking that a drink so, thinking that the ink flow to these pages, through stages, up with a bomb track. You don't really want that, you don't want the comeback, you don't want the combat, you don't want to fall flat, you don't want your ball cap busted with bottles. Cause this punk must have thought I was a homecoming out of clubs. Cause Joe got a lot of love, don't ever think for a minute I'ma give it, I'll be sending with a grin, and I'll be drilling, make a killing with my killers. Phyllis, yeah, just like I thought, oh, tripping got your jaw broke, tell me what your dog goes, said he got the raw flow, but it isn't awful, bitches and women, the competition is awful.
Lyrically speaking, we off the deep end, they keep competing, records repeating, damage defeating, rookies retreating, they under siege, and we off the deep end. Lyrically speaking, we off the deep